What's up, y'all? Well, I just did another old film video. I figured while I'm filming, I might as well show this gun that I've been wanting to do a video about for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. It's been tucked away, and I just ran into it a little bit ago. So this is an old World War II pistol, a Nazi pistol, from what I understand. It has this holster, and this old school, it's a 32 auto. This old school gun. Now, let me double check. I know it shouldn't be loaded because the hammer doesn't work properly on it anymore. So this gun, I think it's about an 8-round magazine on it. There's no safety. It has a hammer, external hammer. Now, I was told that this is a World War II pistol, a Nazi pistol. It is a German gun. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on there. I don't exactly know how to pronounce this. Let's see if I can get this shit to show up. This is a very old school gun. I took it to the range, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so, maybe 2.5 years ago, somewhere in that range, and I was shooting it, and after I shot a couple rounds, the spring that kicks the hammer back up, it broke. So it doesn't, see, you pull it back, doesn't come forward anymore. So I'm sure it's probably an easy fix, but I just haven't messed with it. Now, I was talking to a guy I work with who is also into guns, and he said that 32 auto seems like a small caliber for a an infantryman for the Nazi army, which I don't know, because back then I'm sure there weren't as big of calibers for guns as there are now, but he was saying that maybe it's an officer's gun. Well, I've looked at this gun. I've looked it over several times, and I don't know if this is going to show up, but there's a little FM engraved right there. Okay. Now, I also found, this one might not show up, but it's right, oh, there it was. Right there, there's an FM kind of scratched into it right there. Now, this could have been anybody that could have scratched that in there. It could have been anybody from any time who owned this gun. I don't know who my dad got it from, but I looked at inside the holster. I had noticed, let me find it. Someone wrote the name Mueller in there, okay? It's right here. And I don't know what that little stamp says. Read that. And I swear I saw the name somewhere else on this holster. But once I had talked to my coworker about it, bitch. Once I talked to my coworker about it, I was thinking, I'm like, damn. I started looking into Nazi officers with the initials FM, and I came upon a guy whose name was Friedrich Mueller. He was known as the Butcher of Crete. He was a really horrible person. God, dude, I hate when you rub against my damn legs. Quit. Just lay down, bud. He was a really fucked up, terrible person. But if for some reason this was that guy's gun, it's got to be worth a fucking fortune. Now, I have not looked into it any further. I haven't tried taking it to any. I don't even know who I could take it to who might be able to have any more information on it than that. Short of the serial number, I don't know if that would help, but I've tried looking that up online to no avail. But I've looked up pictures of this guy, this Friedrich Mueller guy, and I try to find pictures to see if I can see his holster and to see if it looks like this one. And it has a spot for an extra magazine right here too. Little right there. I don't think I have another magazine for it, but so all the pictures I found of him, none of them actually show his sidearm on his, on his belt anywhere. So unfortunately, that didn't help me either. But if I ever did find a picture of him with a holster that looks like that, you best believe I'm definitely gonna start looking into somebody that can tell me something about it. Because if this is his gun, I mean, I have no intentions of selling it. at any point ever, because this gun was my dad's. My dad let my brother and I both pick a gun out of his collection before he sold most of them. He wouldn't let me have his Colt Government, so I got his Beretta 9000S 40 cal semi-auto handgun, and my brother picked this one. Well, my brother just kind of stuck it in the closet and never did anything with it. Doesn't know how to clean it or to break it down or anything else. So at some point years back, so we had a place together for a long time, I just took it because I want to make sure it doesn't get all rusted up and turn to shit. So, but it's a cool little handgun, you know, has no kick at all, 32 auto. I mean, it's a solid steel gun, so it has almost no recoil at all. But it's a pretty cool little gun. It's definitely different. There's a little CZ on the side. I don't know if that is some kind of brand or anything, but I never really paid much attention to that. There's the FM again. And it says pistol model 27. I never really thought about looking at it. I always go like this on the top, the probably pronounced Waffenfabrik. But I never actually looked at the model number. I never really Googled that and tried to see if I could find anything else out about just the particular gun. It's like this model of gun itself. But it's a nice little gun. It is. It's cool. Very nice little semi-auto handgun. I'm not big on the semi-autos, as y'all probably know, but this is a very cool gun. At some point, I need to do a video on my Beretta, and then my dad had this little compact 22 Beretta. It might have been called a Bobcat. I think the Tomcat might have been the 32 auto, and this was a 22, but it kind of looks like a pocket-sized version of the 92 FS with the barrels exposed on the top. It's got a little switch too, so when you put the magazine in, you pop the switch up and the barrel will pop up like this. You can put your round in and close it up. And he had that gun as a carry gun for years. That, and he has a 630 Smith & Wesson 637-2 that he's had since at least the early 2000s. And he still has that one. Has that one all the time. The 22, I don't even know when he sold it, but he sold it to my aunt a long time ago. She lived by herself. And my aunt has moved in with my grandparents she's moved in several years ago to help take care of them because they're in their 80s now. And thankfully I saw this. She was cleaning stuff out of her car and she had that gun and she's going to get rid of it. And I'm like, whoa. That used to be my dad's carry gun. I mean, for years. Like his back jean pocket had an imprint from that pistol. He carried it so much. So, yeah, I absolutely want that gun. So I do have that one too. So I'll probably just do a video one of these days of just the two guns in the same video. But I carried the 40 cal that was my carry gun for a long time. Probably 10 years. Well, no, it could have been 10 years. I carried it for quite a few years as my carry gun because it was really the only handgun that I had. And then when I started buying other guns, I just packed it away because I don't want anything to happen to it since it came from my dad. And I mean, I was shooting that gun when I was a kid before I could even drive a car, so it's been around a long time. He's had this in a long time too. But I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this gun, but I wanted to just show it. It's got a little fixed blade sight in the front here. Real small little fixed blade, just standard, groove notch here in the back. It's got little serrations here to kind of help you rack the slide on it. But I don't know. It's a cool little gun, and maybe it's got some really cool history to it. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, if this really was a Nazi's, officer's sidearm, I mean, this thing may have killed quite a few people. Maybe not. I think they had like the soldiers do most of their killing for them because, shit, I don't think Hitler ever even was confirmed to have killed anybody himself with his own hands. I don't think he ever killed anybody. Which just goes to show you the power of speech. I mean, just through talking, this guy ended up what, 30, 40 million people dead just because of him talking. It's fucking impressive. Not in a good way. It's just impressive that's how powerful the human voice can be when used improperly, I guess. But you know what I mean. Like when you use it to accomplish something, it's amazing what can be accomplished. I mean, if that much shit can be accomplished, imagine how much good could come from the voice. It's like Malcolm X. I love listening to his old speeches. His autobiography, that's the only book I've really read in probably the last 10 years, because I used to have a job where we had a lot of downtime, and I could actually sit and read, and I read like 8 or 9 books that year. But since then, I just always so busy, I never take the time to read a book. But somebody at my job was giving away a bunch of old books, and his autobiography was in there, and I was like, dude, I gotta read it, because I've listened to pretty much all his old speeches. I couldn't put that book down. I read very short time, I went all the way through that whole book. It's phenomenal. And that was one of those people that used his voice to try to bring about some good. So a lot of good can be accomplished with talking as well. But it's a little so does it have to be a single action only? I mean, obviously for your first shot, I mean, every time when you shoot, it's gonna come back. And, damn, I don't remember how to release. There it is. But, each shot, but I mean, you can't shoot double action with this gun. It's like a 1911, it's got you gotta have the hammer cocked in order to fire it. So, I don't know, that's about it. I figured I was doing a video, I may as well just throw this out, because I just happened to run into it like an hour ago and figured, why not? So, there you have it. 32 auto, possibly Nazi pistol. I love history. I love World War II history, so this is very cool. So, anyhow, until next time, I'll catch y'all later.